Hi, today is my pleasure to interview composer from Bogota, from Colombia, and her name is Ana María Romano Gómez. Hi,
Hi, Sandris. How are you?
I'm good, I'm good. Can you just shortly maybe introduce yourself to...
Okay, yes. I'm a composer. I'm a sound artist and interdisciplinary artist. Um, wait a minute, please. Mm, um, my creative interests center around acoustic and electroacoustic media, and I love to participate in interdisciplinary projects involving contemporary dance, video dance, performance. Um, I'm very interested in the intersection of genders, sound, and technology, listening, soundscape, noise, experimentation, improvisation, cyberspace, body, and the political dimensions of the creative. Um,
Okay, yes, it's fine, very fine. And what is a good musical composition for you?
what is
What is good musical composition for you?
what I think is a
Good music.
no good music?
Yes, yes. What do you think is yes good music?
What I feel is good music. I have yeah, I have a wait. I think the good music is espera. I think the good music is like a good trip. It means that always gives reasons to come back.
Yes, yes, yes. It means you always want to like listen again and understand the piece. Right.
Sorry, I didn't understand.
And so you said it's like piece where you always want to return back, right? And I just understand it's always a piece which you want to listen again and explore it again. Yes.
Oh, okay. Yes, yes, yes. If yes, it's part of the a good vibe with the music. No, if you want to come back again and again and again, I think it's a good thing for you.
Yes.
And it changes every time. No, maybe some music that you like it 10 years ago, now maybe you don't. It
Yes.
is because we are changing all the time.
Yes.
Um, no?
Yes. 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 Yes.
Not right.
Yes. 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 True. It's true. At least it's the same as me, right? So, uh, and what is your musical signature, right?
My musical what? Excuse me.
Signature. How you would characterize your own music, right?
I don't know. Maybe I don't want to think in my signature because I think I prefer to feel free to experiment with many things. Um, I think in my life is very important the curious listening. I think the curious listening is a kind of I don't know origin of uh, my thoughts, my feelings,
Okay, it's listening.
my
Right?
Yes, yes. Because I think the sound is a living thing, and we have to dialogue with the sound to create. No, it's uh, it's not something like a unique thing. No, I mean the sound of a door.
Yes,
Uh, each door is different.
yes,
No, in it depends on the context, on the time, on the territory, space.
yes,
No, many things, and uh, the listening is like a conductor,
yes,
no? And the curious. For me, it's very important the curious and the listening because it's something like I'm not prepared to uh, not prepared. Uh, I don't expect.
okay, got it.
I wait to listening,
Yes,
to think, to feel,
yes,
but I don't expect. No,
yes,
and this is the importance of the listening for me.
yes, because I noticed,
Start point. I think is the start point. No?
yes,
Listening.
yes, and I noticed that at least the pieces what I have heard composed by you, there is a lot of, at least I have felt that these are some kind of no sounds from outside, right? Like whether it's some dialogues or some surrounding sounds, but these are part of your composition, right?
Um, can you repeat? Sorry.
So that you have a lot of in your compositions, you use a lot of recorded sounds, like some political dialogues or some or something what happened, let's say, outside on the street, right?
Yes, yes, yes. For me, it's very important. One of my interests is, for example, the soundscape, because I think the soundscape is talking about us every time. No? Through the soundscape, we can learn about our uh, politics, economics, or uh, religious, all of us. No?
Yes.
And I think the soundscape is very political, and I think in general the art for me is very political, but the soundscape is uh, around my creation. Sorry, I'm very sleepy. Sorry. Is in my life every time. No, um, I think it's very important.
Yes, yes. And second, I noticed that you work on with multimedia as well, some with dancers, with videos, and etc.
Yes, I'm great. Sorry. I'm grateful with the dance and
Yes,
the scenic arts because uh, I I learned about myself and the sound and the life in my work with them. I learned to different kinds of listening, different ways to work with sound, um, because it was like a meeting of two worlds, and they blend, no?
Yes.
And I have very important experiences with them, with the dance, with the dancers, with the all of the things that we need to create a dance piece, no?
Yes.
The dialogues are very important, no?
Yes.
We have a lot of conversations. We talked about body, listening, sound, and it's like the sound was a new dimension for me
Yes.
in, with them, with this relationship.
But this means that it's not anymore only about listening, right? But it's about watching as well, right? The piece become more and more watching from watcher perspective.
Yes, I think the listening. I'm connected with the idea that the listening is multi-sensory,
Yes.
and it's not only about the ears, no.
Yes.
It's the whole body, and in the feelings, the thoughts, and yes, I can feel the connection between listening and seeing. I think the listening and the seeing, they are not enemies.
Yes.
I think they can they can work together.
Yes. 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 Got it. And and if you would be a man, right? Would your career would be different as composer?
If maybe uh, what no
Would
no
you succeed more, right? Would you succeed more? Would you get more commissions, more awards if you would be a man composer
oh
in Colombia?
okay. um yes, in general I think the difference between being a woman or being a man is yes, the musical world and the art world in general is a boys club, no? Um, and I think in the 10, 15 years ago, since 10 or 15 years ago, there are many women working to change that. And particularly, I think the pandemia was good in this way because we can connect between us and we can uh, show like a strong group of artists.
Yes.
And uh, but yes, I think there are many things to change because for example, the musical education is very close to the uh, 19th century model, no? And in this way, the women are a rare thing, or no? Um, and yes, I think we have a lot, many things to do because the world is not changing enough yet.
Yes. Yes. And would your music would be different if you would be a man?
Maybe yes, maybe yes, because there are some ideas and structures, very, 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 ¿cómo se dice? Enraizadas, como, ¿cómo? Rooted, very rooted, and I have a question. No, it's about the what means a good work, no, a good piece, and I think many ideas about what is a good work are in relation with this idea, with these structures of who is a good composer.
Got it.
No? If you work and think on this way, you are going to be accepted for your colleagues. No? But it means that you have to repeat these structures, these thoughts, these techniques,
yes.
And yes, yes. Many sometimes I say that to be a composer is like to be a man composer, because you need to talk and to create like
men
in the way of these structures and ideas. And obviously, I disagree. I don't think it has to be in this way. Yes, I think the difference in the composition between men and women are related with the education.
Got it. You said that for you it's very important listen, right? And then the question is, how important is your listening and being in and living in Colombia, right? Because would you be completely different composer if you would live in the United States or in Germany, right? Because you would hear quite different sounds, right? And quite different dialogues.
Yes, I think before we are musicians, we are individuals, no? It means that you are in a context. This context is very particular in the political, in the historical things, economics, etc. No, and you are part of this context, so you are influenced by this context. And if you grow in no sé, Texas, you have a context, and if you grow in Bogota, you have a context, and your music and your ideas are related with this context. I think are very connected, because you are your language, your friends, your personal and familiar history, and your social history is crossing you. No?
Yes.
It's,
yes. Yes, I completely.
And yes.
And when right, you said it's very important context, right?
Yes.
And how much all these political things what's going on in Colombia, how much it influence your music, right?
Political context?
Yes, political context, yes.
A lot, because it's a hard context, but at the same time, it's a very effective context. And it's a sometimes it's a love and hate relation with the context.
Yes.
And I can't imagine composing a piece without my context in my feelings or in my head or in my ideas. Because I feel very connected with the with this country and this city, and
are you criticize this political context in your pieces? Are you
yes.
do social commentary on that?
Yes, I think the critics is spirit is very important, no? Because it allows you to think, to propose answers, solutions, to change the things that you want to change, no? And I have to, I can't imagine composing a piece thinking in the, I don't know, something that is not present in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I think I need to talk about it.
Yes.
But not literally, obviously, no, because the sound it has its own form to express. No? Yes.
Yes, and there is a lot of thoughts, right, or a lot of discussions. What at least I have heard, right, that there is some kind of in South America there is a lot of talks about decolonization, about colonizational past, and that that you need to reinvent some music based on roots and etc. How much this is important for you?
The colonial ideas or
Yes, yes,
philosophy.
yes.
It's a I think it's necessary and important to think us out of the colonial world. No, we need to think different. We need to be autonomous in our creations and politicals. I think the one of the biggest problem in, for example, Latin America, is that our politicians, for example, they are very subordinados.
Yes.
Subordinates to the, for example, Western Europe and
America.
United States. No? Yes. But we, in the arts and in the other fields, no, philosophy or economics or in the life, we need to think in the real independence, no? And in the it's very difficult because the people that take decisions, big decisions to the country, they are not interested in the decolonize our relations, no, with these countries and with this part of the world. And in the creation, it reflects in the creation, no? Because maybe sometimes you can find people that want to compose like a French composer, like a German composer, like a, no? And I think the important, I don't know why exactly is French composer, German composer, or Colombian composer, but the importance for me is to think that we are in Colombia and this is a particular context, and the questions need to be about our context, no? It's but with the colonial ¿cómo se dice? Corrientes como el pensamiento de colonial, the colonial thought, sometimes the people that are close to the colonial thought, they are very they take the colonial thought like a cult.
Yes.
And in this way, I think it blind
again,
because I think the world is very open. I feel very close to the anarchy, really.
yes,
No,
yes,
more
yeah.
than the others. No, it's, for example, in this way, I think we have to change the idea of nations. No, but the colonialism is very dangerous. No, I think it's the colonialism is not only in the economics, for example, but in the thoughts and too, and it is very, very, very dangerous. But I think we need to open and to connect, thinking in horizontal relationships. In this way, anyone is more important or more values than other, no? But see, with the trending topics, I think we have a risk, and it is to become a believer.
Yes.
No, and it is difficult for me. No.
Yes, got it. And how your musical language manifests your ideas of gender equality?
I think I don't know if gender equality, but I think a gender inequality.
Yes, yes. So even your music is very like let's say masculine male boy music. Yes.
No, I think my point is we are very inequality. Yes, it's not in the way the bad and the good.
Yes.
Because I think the world is not divided in two. Only women, only men. No, we have transgender people, we have non-binary people, and this diversity is wonderful. No, and we cannot think in only two. No, and in this way. The men, cis, white, heterosexual are a group, one of the possible groups of people. But I prefer to think in the people, obviously, without these categories. But obviously, we need to think in the other people too. No, I mean, we are not only, no, we are many different kinds of people.
Yes. That's
what I mean. No, I'm not agree with the idea to divide in groups. I know we need to have a common language to understand us, but these categories are very exclusive.
Yes,
no?
right.
All of them.
Yes, but this thinking, right, what you are saying, this somehow influence your musical language or not?
Yes. Yes.
Can you give example? For example, one example?
For example, I have a piece that is called The Beach Flies and Doesn't Fall. It's about lesbians. And my interest with this piece is to create with the sound in the lesbian world. It's like a ritual.
Yes.
To create some kind of cosmic chord with the female orgasms in which the women having sex with another women, for example. Is I think in this piece, for example.
Good, I like it. Yeah. And looking back on your own music, right? How it changed in the last 10 years?
I want to say something about the beach flies and doesn't fall. This work is for multi-channel fixed media, live electronics, and improvisation. No, and in this work navigates or flies into lesbian universes and has given me fascinating encounters. No, with this work, I want to celebrate the complicity, the solidarity, and the company of the strength to resist in a world that refuses to hear our voices, to see our bodies, or to recognize our desires. Yes, I think my work is touched by these ideas of.
Yes, got it.
And
when how your music changed in the last 10 years?
I think it changes a lot because I have changed a lot too. No? I feel my political interests are focused and my voice is more autonomous, more independent, and I'm more interested in the process that in the finished result. I feel more close to the experimentation. I improvised a lot more than 10 years ago. And I include the improvisations in my pieces. No? For example, I think this is important, no? Because 10 years ago, maybe my pieces were more fixed and now are more flexible to the performance, to the to the performance.
Got it. And how technological change impact your
in my work?
Yeah.
I have been working with the synthesizers, for example. Do it yourself too, hardware hacking or circuit bending. And I think the work with the body is another technology too. Huh?
So you mean by body, you mean this including dance elements, yes?
Including what? Excuse me.
Including, so your work are more including dance, yes, from dance.
The body in general, no, is to put the body in front of the audience. No?
So that there is something happening. Performer something does, and this is part of the piece, right?
Yes, yes, but thinking when I started composition, the body was not present because historically the composer is a genius and the geniality is with the brain, no, with the ideas only, and the body doesn't exist. And now I think the body is absolutely necessary, important, and is another technology, no? The body is a very technology complex body, no? And I think more in the body in the last 10 years.
Okay.
And in their relation with technology, how you can touch, how you can communicate with the software or with the mixer or with the speakers and with the instruments that I created or I played, no? I think it's in this way.
Yes, but you frequently create some instruments on your own.
Yes, yes. Right now, less, but 5 years ago, I built instruments with hardware hacking and circuit bending, for example. I love it. I want to create my own synthesizer, but I need a teacher, of course. I need someone to teach me how can I build my synthesizer. But yes, yes, I love to. And for example, in one of my classes with children, I created a paper orchestra, only with paper, and was beautiful. I think we can use everything like a instrument,
Yes.
or every sound could be part of a musical universe.
And do you code as well?
No,
You-
no, 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 no. I know people that codes, but I don't code.
And what is your process of composing, right? How you start, and what are stages you're going through?
I don't have only one process. No, I think each piece has its own process to compose, because the circumstance, the origin of the piece is different. No, if I have to compose for a guitarist, I'm in particular situation. But if I have to compose a multi-channel piece, I have to be in another context. If the piece is for a particular situation, dance piece or concert piece or happening or improvisation, and I prefer to not thinking in create a process or a method of composition, because I don't feel free in this kind of thinking.
Yes, yes, got it. And can you just maybe can you just give example how you compose last piece, right?
What is my last piece? Oh, for example, the piece "The Beach Flies and Doesn't Fall." This
Yes,
piece,
that's with lesbian. Yes, the motive.
yes, yes. This piece started, I think, on 4 or 5 years ago, and the process were the first part. For example, I met with a partner in crime to talk, and with a coffee, with a tea, to talk about lesbians, sexualities, identities. Then the second step, or it's not the step, but the second moment, was in a performance, in a public performance, in which I worked with a project that I have with Marta Cabrera, my partner in crime, and we give to the audience a list of poems written by lesbian writers, and something like 50 words that we use in Latin America to refer to the lesbians. And I made a field recording of this performance. Then I talked with friends and friend of friends, and I asked them to record recording the poems or and the words, but in they can choose if they record a word, a phrase, the whole poem, and they give a personal character to this reading and in the recording. And after that, I made a mix with soundscape from, for example, manifestations in the streets in the March 8th. And I mix it with, for example, I improvise it with the synthesizers. And in each presentation, the piece is different because I have something like a bank of recordings, and in the sound check, I decide what materials I'm going to use. No, and everything is changing, no. And in the next moment was to ask to some friends that if they want to share with me an audio recordings of their sexual relationships, particularly the orgasms, and two, because in this moment I was when I thought in the cosmic chord with the orgasms. No, it's something like the world is going to explode with this cosmic orgasm chord.
Got it. And what do you fear as a composer the most?
It's a good question, because I don't want to be a composer in the traditional way, no. And I think my work as a composer is in collaboration, no, with other people. Not in thinking I'm a composer, you are a performer, and we talk. You can say me this is good, this is bad for my instrument. No, I think in the way to build a piece in collaboration, no, in different ways. I don't want to be a part of this boys club. I'm absolutely clear in this idea, and I need to be a part of this idea. And I'm thinking, I have been thinking in the idea to create in the collaborative way. Yes, but at the same time, I compose electroacoustic pieces in my computer alone. No, is I don't know. I say that is a good question because I don't have an answer yet.
Yes.
No?
Yes.
I'm looking for.
Yes. And why do you still compose?
Because I love to do. No. I love to work with sound.
Yes.
I think I have a very close relation with the sound.
Yes.
And
how do you know it, right? How do you know it, right? Do you have a feeling, some body feeling, or how you know that you like composing, right?
Yes, I feel in the body, I feel in the mind, I feel in my spirit. I feel good.
Yes.
No, I feel that I enjoyed a lot to create with sound.
Yes.
If you call compose or no composing or not composing, I don't know. I don't know why. This is one of my questions right now. What means to be a composer in the 21st century? No, but I love to work with sound.
Yes. 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 Got it. And looking right now as an observer, right? Uh, how do you think how new music scene in Colombia changed during this century?
Oof. I think the scene in Colombia is changing everything, and in the last century, I think we have a inflection point in the 90s. I think in this moment, we our context, musical context, open it, no, start to open it, the idea of what is to work with music, what is to create music, what is to work with the sound. I think this is the most important thing for me. No, in the 90s, we had a inflection point. We take apart from the idea of the conservatory is the only way to learn and to create music, for example. And something important is that we can see inside our context, no? Not only see outside, we are more conscious about the question when how we think, create, work with the music, and I think is a very important thing, no? Because it's a very dynamic scene.
Yes.
I think with these questions, who I am, no? We started to question about what means to be in Colombia and what means to be to do music in Colombia, and this is very important.
Got it. And how change audience?
The audience, I think the audience is very, ¿cómo se dice? Cómplice, complicit with the musicians. If you think in the mainstream, this is another world.
Yes.
No?
But
But
I think about new music, about contemporary.
Exactly. But in the new music, experimental music, the audience is very complicit with the musicians, I think.
Yes. And how they change? Are the audience becoming older or bigger or smaller or?
Maybe bigger, older. Yes. Yes. See, for example, we have more places to play.
Yes.
More places to show our work, not only theaters, non-conventional places, for example, and this is fascinating for me. I love these places. And I think something important is to think in the audience like a open group of people. I mean, not only musicians, no? Musicians, listening musicians, no. I think, and because at the beginning, for example, in the electroacoustic concerts, the audience were composers, no? But now I think in the experimental and new music, the audience is bigger because we are not thinking in a specialized audience, no? We want to share our work with everyone, no? And we invite everyone to our concerts, no? I think it's part of the work to think in a horizontal way. I mean, 20 years ago, you can find people that say this music is difficult for the audience. I think this is unrespectable because you can't decide for another person. Let the experience to each one, no? Is and the beginning, the electroacoustic composers say something like that, no? That the electroacoustic music is very special and is not for everyone. I'm absolutely disagree. I think the music is for everyone, and you are free to decide what kind of music do you want to listen. I think the changes with the audience. One good point was this.
Got it. And what do you see future of Colombian music, let's say in 2040, after 20 years?
Oof. Wow, I don't know. Really, it's a I don't know. I think in a John Cage sentence is if we have sounds, we don't have to worry about the future of the music.
I got it. And the last question is, what do you think is the role of new music in Colombian society?
What is the what? Excuse me.
What is the role of new music?
Role of new music in Colombia.
Because I suppose, right, that government a little bit supports that music, right, with grants and etc.
I don't know. Yes, the government through the Ministry of Culture, they have grants, but I don't think this is a good situation because in the grants you found one call in the field of contemporary music for the whole country. This is not an answer, no? If you won, you are happy, obviously. If you win the call, but this is not a solution. This is not a good good way to live in the music field, no? I don't know. It's in the maybe let's say 20 years. It's true that the national government and the local governments create grants, but it's not enough.
Mm-hmm.
No? The experimental music, for example, and the new music, I think is the last in the thinkings of in the radio, in the organizations, no, in the government, and everywhere. I think this kind of music is important for us.
Yes.
For our audience, obviously, and we want to be more present in the scene, but I think one thing is very important. I think it's a very passionate relation between the audience and the musicians in this kind in this new music and the experimental music, but I don't think it's something structural in the plans, in the political plans, but socially, I think is we have a community. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I think the community is not fixed. It's not the only one community, no. But I think it's a very kind relation between the audience, the musicians, and we are very interested in to open ways to move, no? to find I don't know, to find ways to create and to share our works.
And why government should support new music?
Why government support?
Yes, why government should support?
I think I don't know, because the work of the musicians, I think, during the past years, many musicians talk with the government, with the institutions of the government to open not only grants, for example, programs or I don't know, seasons of concerts. No, I think, o sea, if your question is why government supports new music and experimental music, I think the direct answer is because the musicians force.
Mm-hmm. Because they just need money for living, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes, got it.
But I think the grants are not the solution.
Yes, got it. Got it. So
no, are not the solution in the way they are established. No, is one grant for whole country. No, it makes happy one composer.
Okay, got it.
And his friends and his family, but it's not the solution for a group of people who that are trying to live from the music work. Huh?
Got it. So thank you very much for this interview. I enjoyed a lot.
Thank you for the invitation. I enjoyed a lot too.